Hello and welcome. This is the video ad in Canva we will be creating in this tutorial. Let's begin by going to Elements to the left. And here, let me fetch this square frame onto the work area. This should be 740 pixels square and will be exactly in the middle. Next, going to Photos, let me drag this picture onto the frame. Okay, let me duplicate this page. And on page 2, let me duplicate the image itself, right? What happens now is I'll drag a second image onto the work area. This should also be exactly in the middle. So in this way, there will be a third image on page 3 that will come in the middle. On page 4, however, there won't be any new image. The image on page 1 will come on top here. Let's recap what you just saw me doing. Page 1 houses one image, let's say image 1. Page 2 houses two images. Image 2 comes above image 1. On page 3, image 3 comes on top of image 2. And on page 4, image 1 reappears on top of image 3. Hope that's clear. Let's proceed. Coming to page 2, let me open Position menu at left. Here in the Layers submenu, I'll select the bottom image, that's image 1. Now in Arrange submenu, I'll simply push the image a bit to the right. So what I do is increase the X value from 170 to 300 pixels. Okay, next I go to transparency for this image and reduce it to 0, which means image 1 is fully transparent on page 2 at the place where it is now. I'll do the same on page 3 and page 4, which is to push the bottom image 300 pixels to the right and making them fully transparent. Watch me doing this. We'll come back when complete. Okay, let me now do some animation to the top images on page 2, 3, and 4. I'll choose pan animation for this, and it will be on enter and slower speed. It will be the same thing to do on page 3 and 4. Next, let me open the page thumbnails at the bottom. Selecting the first page, let me fix the timing as 1.5 seconds. Page 2 and 3 will be 2 seconds long. Page 4 will also be 1.5 seconds, like page 1. Right. Let me now introduce match and move transition between all the pages. The duration of transition is 0.75 seconds. Now, since Canva readjusts the page duration, let me again select all the pages and adjust the timing to 1.7 seconds. Depending on final outcome, occasionally you may have to change the timings again. Okay, the bottom layer for images is complete for all the pages. Let me create a blank page at the top, and here we will design the cutout layer. First, going to Elements, let me look for square with a square hole. This is the one I will use. So bringing it on page 1, let me drag this to cover the whole area. And then pull it to place exactly in the middle and center. Next, let me duplicate this element. This new element will be shorter, 870 pixels square. Okay, both elements will be white in color, but there is a small difference. The shorter element will have its transparency reduced to 30. You'll soon see what difference this makes. So what I do is copy both the elements and then go into page 2, paste them here. The view area has to be reduced so you know what's happening. So the middle cutout layer is complete. Now is the turn for add copy. Pressing T brings up the text box. And the new text will be summer travel. Let me look for the font code. Here it is. This is the one I want for summer travel. The font size will be 72 and the letter spacing -40. I suppose this is a nice font for the purpose here. Going ahead, let me press T for the new text box. And I'll change the text that will come below the image to its right. This time the text will be satisfaction guaranteed. The new font is Futura in caps. The size is 20 and then proceeding to letter spacing, let this be 40. Let me position it where I want it to be. Okay, there will be a second line of text here. Book your trip now. This is the call to action. So it will be bold and aligned properly. I can't help but have a third set of text. This will be the web address where the viewers will go when they click on the ad. Let me enlarge the view area. The size of web address will be just 14, but it will have 600 as letter spacing. Let me rotate the text to make it vertical and then place it alongside the image to the top left. A bit of designing may be a good idea. Canva has huge stocks for design elements. Let me select a couple of blobs as you see me doing. And I'll position them to the top right and the second one at the bottom left of the page design. And I'll change the colors too. The bottom one will be a little transparent. Okay, so the designing is over. What next? You guessed right. I'll copy all the items on this page except the images. And then going over to page 2, 3, and 4, paste them there. The top page is not needed anymore. And now, finally, the ad is ready to watch. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any question or suggestion, use the comments below. Thanks for your time. All the best to you.